Greetings from Radio Wasteland Records in Midland, Michigan. It is time once again for our weekly check into the highlights of some of the new releases headed to an independent record store near you. And again, as always, this is just the highlights. Way too many releases to cover in a video like this one. So if you'd like to see the full list, head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com, and from there you can peruse all of the offerings that are out there and that you might be interested in. But for now, let's take a look at some of the goodies heading our way for Friday, February 10th, 2023. Starting us off with the new releases this week is something brand new from Paramore. This is called This Is Why. This is the band's 6th studio album, and the first album in nearly 6 years following After Laughter from 2017. 2 vinyl variations for Paramore, This Is Why, a black vinyl version listing for about $25, and an indie-exclusive clear vinyl version, this one also listing for $25. Something else on tap for the culturally important Post Malone. This is called 12 Carat Toothache, and looks like we've got 2 different variations of this. Our description says that 12 Carat Toothache is Post Malone's 4th studio album, and it adds that it is his most intimate and personal opus to date. Some big words there. There is a yellow vinyl version, double LP listing, very heavy at $46, and a double LP red and black vinyl version, also listing for about $46. And one final new release, kind of. This is from a 2022 album, but it's finally getting a vinyl treatment. And this is something brand new from Hanson. Yes, Bop Hanson. Red, Green, Blue is the name of this album. Our description says that the 2022 sibling pop trio are back with Red, Green, Blue and brings together the band's 3 unique creative voices like never before. So Hanson's Red, Green, Blue on black vinyl by the looks of this. Wow, listing, I had to stop, sorry about that, listing for about $46. On the reissue front for Friday the 10th, we've got the next in line from Avenged Sevenfold. You'll recall the last 2 came out last week. But here we have a double LP reissue of City of Evil on transparent red vinyl, this one listing for about $36. And if you spent any time bombing around on YouTube, you probably have ran across this next artist. This is Toya of Brunch fame with Toya and Robert. This is, of course, the wife of Robert Fripp from King Crimson, but Toya, an artist in her own right. This is a reissue called In the Court of the Crimson Queen. This is the Rhythm Deluxe Edition. Now, this album was originally released in 2008, and our description says that this is getting a Rhythm Deluxe version of that studio album, which contains Toya's unique interpretation of the iconic song Slave to the Rhythm, and yes, that does feature Robert Fripp on guitar as well. So Toya's In the Court of the Crimson Queen Rhythm Deluxe Edition on red-colored vinyl listing at about $40. A couple of cool punk ones on the reissue front as well from Cleopatra Records. This is Big Sexy Land from the Revolting Cocks. This one on red marble vinyl. Originally released in 1986. This one will list for about $40. And a cool one from the Dickies. This is Balderdash from the Archive. Also coming from Cleopatra Records, this one on yellow and purple splatter vinyl. Our description says this collection includes both live and studio gems, dating all the way back to the band's mid-'80s salad days, through the 90s and into the 21st century. This also includes tracks from the recently released 7-inch, as well as recut versions, again, beware of that, recut versions of some of the band's best punk covers. So Balderdash from the Archive by the Dickies on splatter vinyl, listing for about $33. It's a reissue from Gary Newman's Tubeway Army. Not much to pass along in the description of this, other than it's on colored vinyl, but it doesn't say what. Listing for about $30. So that's Gary Newman's Tubeway Army reissue for about $30. Here's one from Dire Straits, yet another one rather, sorry. This is Money for Nothing, a remastered version, and this one now on double LP vinyl, listing for about $40. Lyle Lovett is getting a reissue of his 1992 album, Joshua Judges Ruth. This one on black vinyl from Curb Records, listing for about $35. From Friday Music, we've got a limited edition anniversary edition of the Doobie Brothers' The Captain and Me, originally released in 1973. It features some of their most popular hits, including Long Train Runnin', China Grove, and Without You. So this reissue, limited edition anniversary in a gatefold jacket from the Doobie Brothers, listing for about $37. Next up, we've got a couple of Whitney Houston reissues to talk about, including one that's being pushed way back, but we'll get to that in just a second. First up is a reissue of Whitney Houston's Whitney Houston, her self-titled iconic debut album, returning to vinyl. Two versions of this one coming from Sony Legacy Records. The first on black vinyl listing for about $31. And then there is a peach-colored vinyl, also coming from Sony UK. This one a little bit heavier on the price because it is an import. This one listing a little bit heavier because it is an import, coming in at a suggested retail price of $48. Then we've got Whitney Houston's follow-up album, Whitney. This one a 10 times platinum album, again her second studio album. The black vinyl version coming from Sony Legacy listing at $31. And like the other one, we've got a Sony Import UK version on blue vinyl. This one really up there, listing for about $60. Now for the one that is pushed way back, we have got a mobile fidelity version of Whitney on tap as well. There's no date assigned to this, but it is going to be one that is mastered from the original master tapes and pressed at RTI on MoFi Super Vinyl for spectacular sound. No telling whether there's a digital interface on that or not. We don't want to get into that, but the mobile fidelity of Whitney, date yet to be announced, listing for about $78, so stay tuned on that one. And speaking of that high dollar, very, very high audiophile sound, here is a box set reissue from the folks at Analog Productions of Roger Waters' Amused to Death. So this new reissue is now a 4 LP 200 gram set, and they are each at 45 RPM for maximum audio quality. This is one of Roger Waters' very interesting projects, an unblinking look at the entertainment-obsessed society. Amused to Death addresses issues that have only grown in complexity and urgency over the past 2 decades. So from Analog Productions, this one, by the way, is truly analog. You can tell because of the name Analog Productions. So the Amused to Death by Roger Waters Analog Productions coming in at a list price of $155. Another box set, but there's also a scaled back version. This one coming from Steven Wilson. This is called Steven Wilson Presents Intrigue, Progressive Sounds in UK Alternative Music, 1979 through 1989. Now, this is a various artists box set, but Steven Wilson is kind of working to produce this as he does now. Our description says this is a 7 LP box set housed and printed inner sleeves with a rigid outer slipcase, plus a 40-page booklet featuring an introduction by Steven Wilson and an extensive track-by-track liner notes by James Dice. So if you're looking for some more information on this, as well as some track listings, head over to our website at radiowastelandrecords.com and you can see the full track list. But there's stuff on here from XTC, The Stranglers, Ultravox, Robert Fripp is on here as well, Joy Division, Gary Newman, Echo and the Bunnymen, lots and lots of cool stuff. So Steven Wilson Presents The Intrigue, Progressive Sounds in UK Alternative Music 1979 through 1989, a 7 LP box set. This one listing for about $240. There's also a scaled back version of this, a double LP set listing for about $46, meaning that you're getting kind of just the highlights, but this also includes a 12-page booklet as well. And then wrapping things up for the 10th, we've got a couple of live albums. First up is Alive at 25, the Ritual D-Lo Habitual Live from Jane's Addiction on colored vinyl, this one coming from Cleopatra Records. Double purple and green splatter vinyl, by the way. This is a 25th anniversary concert performance of Jane's Addiction's seminal album, Ritual D-Lo Habitual. The album is performed in its entirety, plus has some additional favorites on there as well as encores. So Jane's Addiction, Alive at 25, listing for about $50. And wrapping things up with a triple LP box set from the Rolling Stones, this is Grrr Live. Our description says the Stones celebrated their golden anniversary in 2012 and 13 by embarking on the 50 and Counting tour, which was a 30-show itinerary across Northern America and Europe. So the Rolling Stones triple LP Grrr Live, listing for about $65. And that is a quick check of some of the new releases headed out for Friday, February 10th. If you're local and you see something you'd like us to pre-order, contact us here at the store or visit us online at radiowastelandrecords.com. You can place your pre-orders from there. So until next week, this is Jim from Radio Wasteland. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll catch you next time.